Starscream is back. Oh god, I knew he was going to return, but I didn't know he was going to return like this. For those of you who don't know, Starscream died. He was presumed dead at the hands of Soundwave himself. And now he is back. But let's take it slow. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're lost in the sauce, go check out my Transformers playlist and make sure to click on the subscribe button and the notification button because I drop a video every day. Now, let us begin because there's one thing you need to understand about human beings. We overstep a lot. We always think we are bigger than we are. Unknown to us, on the cosmic scale, we are less important than the very sand we walk on. For instance, take this group of mercenaries who for some odd reason found the discarded corpse of Starscream. They thought he was a weapon, so they decided to put him together. That was a mistake. They must have looked at him and thought he was soft. They must have looked at him and thought they found an Autobot, but he was not. The engineer smiled. We got this covered. The rest of them were scared. This is an abomination. They should have listened, because as they turned him on, that was their biggest mistake. He arose, not as Starscream, but a lesser version of himself, attached to a tank. And this was an insult. To top it all off, they had controls for him. In his presence, they were talking about how they placed bombs inside him. How dare you, human? How dare you? He was about to crush them, and he meant business. Like, Starscream don't joke. He sees other life forms as insects. The only reason he stopped his rampage was because the private that found him without legs, and he drew it. This offended him more. That is wrong. You will redraw me now. They must have realized that there was no reasoning with Starscream, so they tried to use the controls. Bad idea, because that just let him know that they're willing to play dirty, so he had to play dirtier. I mean, homeboy saw a cat and started to bug out. What is that? I have to kill it now. Literally, the owner of the cat had to step in and save her. Even the cat didn't like the owner. He found this really amusing. But now it was time to end this. She explained that she found him like that and she was sorry, with her boss stepping in to smooth things over. He didn't know. He just put a target on his head because now Starscream knew who to crush first. Let him know though, kill me and all the bombs inside of you will go off. Starscream looked at him dead in his eyes and said, well played. Now, what do you want from me? He then goes on to explain he doesn't need nothing. He works for a company that would appreciate someone like Starscream. The company's name was of course Mars Industries, and if you know the Energon Universe, you know that is Destro's forte. So an alliance was forged, and just like that, they heard a scream. Taking Starscream along, they went to investigate. Starscream couldn't help but remember his past, his adventures with Megatron, battling the Autobots. He remembers one day when they captured a bunch of Autobot prisoners and Megatron offered them a place in his army. They said no, and he did the needful, transforming into a gun and making Starscream himself pull the trigger. Of course, Starscream didn't want to do it. These are prisoners of war. But Megatron didn't give a damn. You pull the trigger when I tell you to do it. And he did, relentlessly. He felt bad at first, but over time, he did it continuously, over and over again. He tried to apologize at first, but at a certain point, he just stopped. He was enjoying it. He was changing. Back at the present, though, we see the boss that was screaming was Astrotrain. Soundwave had apparently abandoned him, shackling him in chains. Astrotrain, my old friend, who bound you? And he said it was Soundwave. Starscream got pissed off. Soundwave deserves to die. He is a traitor. I mean, look at what he did to me. Join me, Astrotrain, and we can bring him down. And Megatron together. Astrotrain cracked a smile. I'm in. Midway through their conversation, though, they heard a boom. The sky was cracking, and down came Cybertron itself. Starscream was out for so long, he didn't know this was happening. What the fuck? Astrotrain told him later, but why are you rolling with these humans? Starscream said they saved my life. They are useful for the time being, but now we need to leave. So Astrotrain transformed. Starscream tried to get on, but because he was connected to the truck, he couldn't move. He had to take the humans. The humans actually threatened him. but he played it cool. Come, my friends, I'm trying to save you. And they went. They don't know who they're playing with. Even inside Astro Train, they were still giving orders like they were in control. And Starscream played his role nicely, always conniving, always 2 steps ahead. Astro Train noticed there were some signals coming from the ocean. So Starscream said open the door, and he saved more Transformers. These guys were bona fide warriors for the Decepticon cause. Starscream welcomed them. Welcome, my brothers. All of them felt betrayed. They were left behind, abandoned by Soundwave. Starscream assured them this will never be like that. Not anymore. But for some reason again, the human thought it would be smart to threaten him. So, conveniently, the wave hit the ship and they landed on their heads, knocking them out. When they woke up, they were inside the piece of Cybertron that fell to Earth, and the Decepticons were celebrating, everyone shouting, "Hail Starscream." He must have realized he was a sitting duck, so he searched for the controller. As soon as he found it, he thought he had the upper hand, but he wasn't listening to the conversation because these guys were dangerous. Starscream tried to enlist them, but they said no need to explain. We are here for blood. He should have known Starscream was evil. I guess he had to learn the hard way. He tried to threaten Starscream again. "I will blow you up." And he said, "Go for it." So he did. He pushed the button without fear. When nothing happened, he realized, damn it, I'm screwed. His crew betrayed him. Starscream promised them freedom, but he lied. Starscream doesn't keep promises. First one he killed was the mechanic because she defiled his body. After her, the rest were nothing. I mean, he went on a bloody rampage, eradicating every single one of them that took their shit. When this was done, all that remained was the boss, and he had plans for him. He picked up the controller, and as he begged, he went slowly, climbing over him, making sure to blend him up like a goddamn blender. You tried to enslave me. Unforgivable. You private, I shall let live, just so you could draw my triumph, just so you could tell my story. Be happy, for you are now my scribe, telling the tale of my conquest of your very world. You are welcome. And he was done. He looked at his Decepticons. Welcome, my brother, to a new start of a new time. As the private drew as best he could, he was witnessing the birth of a new era, a new Decepticon, led by Starscream. I mean, he didn't have his legs, but he had his mind. And as we know, when Starscream actually chills and uses his brain, he is a force to be reckoned with. There is a reason he was Megatron's second in command, and we will see it, and I can't wait.